Hello and thanks for watching. Welcome to part 6 of Road to Omega, a series of videos covering the WipEout games leading up to the release of WipEout Omega Collection on the PlayStation 4. In this video we'll be looking at WipEout Fusion, released in 2002 on the PS2. The reason the NEGcon is there is because this does work with this game. A lot of people miss that and think it's just a PS1 controller, but it does work with WipEout Fusion on the PS2. And there's the disc. And it was originally supposed to release in 2001, and you can see this in the WipEout 3 Special Edition manual where they've got an ad for the game. But it was a bit delayed and it ended up coming out in 2002. So yeah, it's a bit of a different WipEout, different take on it, different design. And yeah, let's cut across and look at some gameplay. Okay, so here we are in WipEout Fusion on the PS2. This is the intro movie. And yeah, so it was the first WipEout on the PlayStation 2. And I mentioned before it was a bit delayed. It was supposed to come out in 2001. It came out in 2002. And by then Extreme G3 had come out, which is a similar sort of game, futuristic racer, but motorbikes instead of anti-gravity craft, and that had come out in 2001, so it beat the game to the market. But I think they were different enough, and WipEout's probably the better known series. Extreme G's fallen off the radar these days. I don't think they make them anymore. I wish they would. I wish they'd bring that back. I wish they'd bring F-Zero back. It's a great genre, and it'd be nice to see more games in it. Yeah, there's the WipEout Fusion intro. So yeah, here we are in the main menu. So I'll run through this quickly. You've got Basic Arcade, AG League, where you play through league races, unlock the next one, play the next one, beat that. And each league is made up of maybe like 3 tracks, and you get gold and progress to the next one, that sort of thing. Challenge mode, which is like the previous games. You've got time challenges, weapon challenges, and they're all based on the teams. So you pick a team and do the challenges for that team. Zone mode, which is new in this game. I did mention this briefly in a previous video about a demo for WipEout Fusion, but if you missed that, zone mode is basically you have no control over the acceleration of the ship. It just gets faster and faster, and the purpose is to survive as long as you can and get the highest score. We'll have a quick look at that in a bit. Time trial, pretty self-explanatory. Multiplayer, split screen, we'll have a look at that at the end of the video. Game statistics, which is quite cool. It just gives you a bit of information about how you're getting through the game and stuff. So extras, and you can input cheats. I've actually put a cheat in just to show you everything in the game. Credits, because you know it's cool to see who made the game. Gallery, this is cool. As you progress, you unlock art from the game. So if I just click on one of these, yeah, there's some really good art in here. So it's actually worth having a look. And if you're a fan of the series, it's really nice to see some of this stuff. Pretty cool. So yeah, let's go back. And yeah, there's various options. There's you can customize stuff and set defaults and things and the usual sort of thing. But yeah, let's get into a race and I can keep talking about the game. So you've got 8 teams in this game, and they've lost a few and they've gained a few. So you've lost AG Systems, which is one of the classics, and you've lost Kyrex as well. Van Uber is new. G-Tech is new. There's a classic Oricon. EGR is new. Tigron is new. Zeos, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but that's new. And there's your classic Piranha. And since this is Road to Omega, I'll just mention quickly, Van Uber is one of the ships that is going to be included in the WipEout Omega Collection. And also the Tigron ship is coming back in WipEout Omega Collection as well. Tigron, as far as I know, is in all versions. There seems to be a little confusion about what version Van Uber is in. I believe it's a pre-order bonus if you go for the PSN version of the game, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And as you can see here, you can now also pick from different pilots. So we'll just go with this guy. And pilots haven't been seen since the original WipEout. So here we go, here are the circuits. You've got 6 circuits, and you go into the circuit, and then you've also got 3 courses in that circuit, and also reverse versions. So this is the first game to feature reverse tracks as well. And we'll go in here and have a look. Quite a cool intro there, very similar to the opening movie to WipEout 1, where he ships Rose from the track. And here we go, classic Faisal. So you can immediately see the track is a bit wider. So the tracks are a bit wider in this game. Bit different design to the other games. And you can see it looks quite nice. It's a good looking PS2 game. But it does handle very differently to the first few games. Like the first 3 and also 64 handle in a certain way, and this one definitely takes a different approach. Takes a bit of getting used to. And you can see there, I just went through it, the tracks feature quite a few of those open areas, usually full of obstacles and things to avoid. For me personally, I'm not a fan of those parts of the tracks. I like a WipEout track to be a track, and you stick on that track, and the purpose is to get good at the line. And it is true that you can learn these tracks and have a line through those big open spaces, but they really disrupt the flow for me personally. But yeah, you can navigate them fairly easily once you know the tracks. There's a few later on though with dead ends and opening and closing doors and things, and it's a different approach to the game. I wouldn't say it's bad, it just takes a bit of getting used to. But yeah, so that's a quick look at that track. Let's cut to another. So this time we're going to be in the van Uber, and we're on another track. You can skip these little openings if you want to, like that. They only take a few seconds, but if you want to skip it you can. So yeah, the van Uber's a good ship. It's good for newcomers to the series. Similar to Faisal, it handles quite well. And that's looking back behind you. You can fire quite a few weapons behind. Show you that again, dropping some mines. And yeah, so the track design in this game, other than those big open spaces, which for me personally I'm not a fan of, the actual circuit parts I really do like. Quite enjoy this game a lot. Some cool bits like the high corners like that. And yeah, it does feel good to race on these circuits. And this track's okay, it doesn't have the open spaces. So you can see where there's parts of the track just cut off with those little wires and things, or electric fences, and they're basically where the other version of this track will join back on. So if you do track 2 or course 2 of this area, then it will be coming back onto this track from those areas. So yeah, that's a look at that one. We'll go to another track now. So here we go, we're on the next circuit, and I've switched to one of the new ships, the G-Tech. It is possible to get a boost start, I keep failing to do it, unfortunately. But yeah, this is your classic snow environment for this track. And yeah, all the environments for the tracks are different, so that's cool. And speaking of the weapons briefly, there are a lot of weapons in this game. Probably the most in any WipEout in fact, and some of them are good and some of them are pretty awful. There's one in particular which is a bunch of drones which come and just shoot you and pretty much almost kill you immediately, and it just really ruins the flow of gameplay. They're quite rare to see. I think that might be a super weapon. There are super weapons in this game. You can turn them off in the menu, I believe. You can kind of customize which weapons you use and stuff. You definitely can in multiplayer, at least I know that much. Okay, that was a quick look at that one. We'll cut to another track now. Right, so here we are on Alcavexus. It's a jungle style track. And we're in the Oricom. So briefly mentioning, like with WipEout 2097, this game is sponsored. And you'll see adverts for Kappa sportswear around the track. And I haven't seen Kappa for a long time. I don't know if it's still a thing. But I remember back when this game came out, it was quite a popular sports brand like Adidas or Nike, stuff like that. But yeah, so you'll occasionally see Kappa ads around the sides of the track. Yeah, so this is the Oricom ship. It's got a bit of heavy handling, quite similar to how the Kyrex used to handle, in fact. Which is handy because Kyrex is not in this game. And I believe if you read into the fiction that comes with the game, it's explained why some of the teams aren't there. And they do return in future releases because AG Systems and Kyrex are classic WipEout. It's a shame they're not in this game, but they do return later on. So yeah, let's cut to another track now. Okay, so we're in the EGR ship, and this is Vol Square, this track. A cityscape track. Oh, and I hit one of the fences. That's what I was mentioning before, the fences that lead to other parts of the track from different versions. So if I was playing Course 2, I'd go down one of those routes, for example. This one visually reminds me of 2097 quite a bit, like Garda Europa. It looks quite similar to that track. So yeah, you've got, as I'll just show you here, we've got the pit lane returning from previous games. Quite essential in this game. I do find myself using the pits a lot more in this version of the game. I think it's because weapons play such a big role in WipEout Fusion, whereas some of the past games, the weapons are more just assisting you in winning a race. And yeah, so that's a quick look at that track. Let's go and look at another one. Okay, so here we are in the Tigron ship on Temtesh Bay. This circuit's nice. It reminds me of WipEout 1 of, I forget the name of it, the desert track. It's very similar to that. But yeah, Tigron is coming back in WipEout Omega Collection. They've confirmed they're throwing that ship in there as an extra, so that's cool. It's really good. The Omega Collection is already full of content, but they're throwing in some new stuff, so that's really nice. You've got a couple of new ships, new soundtrack. 2048's been confirmed to have split screen. So yeah, it's looking good. And yeah, briefly mentioning split screen, I will show you split screen in this game at the end of the video. We'll have a look at that. It runs quite well. And yeah, these I'm showing you the short versions of these tracks, but basically Course 1 is short, Course 2 is a bit longer, and Course 3 is the longest version. And they're all in the same environments. But just to show the game off quickly, just show you these short ones and you get an idea of each environment. But that's that one, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so for this one we're in the Zeos or Ziox, Exos, I don't know how you pronounce this ship. We're in that ship on Catmoda 12, which is on the moon. So that's quite cool. We had a track in WipEout 1 on Mars, and now we've got a track on the moon. And as you can just see there, it's got these flip pads which flip you onto the other side of the track. Here we go again. Yeah, quite cool, bit of a unique thing. Only appear on this track. And yeah, so speaking of this game and its development and release, like I said before, it was supposed to come out in 2001. It was a bit later, 2002, when it finally came out. And it was during this game's development that the studio changed. It was Psygnosis, or Psygnosis, I still don't know how you pronounce that. And it basically became Sony Studio Liverpool. And a lot of people that have played the more recent games will remember Studio Liverpool. It was eventually shuttered by Sony a few years ago, but this is when it began, during WipEout Fusion's development. So yeah, that's a little fact there. And yeah, let's cut to the next track. So here we go. I'm just quickly going to show you the Piranha, the last ship, on Florian Heights Course 3, the longer course. And yeah, you can see Piranha, it's quite streamlined looking. But yeah, this game, it definitely has a good amount of content. There's lots of tracks, if you include all the various routes. The AG League has lots of events in it. It takes a while to get through that. Zone mode, split screen, returning and stuff. And it was the only WipEout on the PS2 for a long time, until WipEout Pulse was ported to the PS2, in PAL territories at least. And that one included all the DLC and stuff. It's not a best port in the world. It's got a few issues, load times, it's a bit murky looking. And I'm not sure which of the two I'd recommend getting for the PS2. I mean, obviously I like the games a lot, and I'd say get both, but if you're strapped for cash and wanted to just get one, I don't know which one I'd recommend. They both have a lot of content in, and yeah, I'd say check them both out if you can. But yeah, that's a quick look at Piranha. Let's go look at zone mode next. So here we go, zone mode. So you pick a track basically, and then go in here, and you'll be basically accelerated out of your control, and you just have to survive as long as possible as the craft gets faster and faster. Zone mode is a staple of the series now. It's in all the releases. It's quite unique. It's a different way of playing the game. I do enjoy it. I'm not amazing at it. I know there are people out there who are absolute pros at this, and it's impressive watching them get up to crazy speeds. But yeah, I'll just show this off briefly. So I'm not pressing accelerate or anything right now. And yeah, you can see the score going up there, and it basically tells you what level, zone level you're at and stuff. And again, with WipEout Fusion, with its unique track design, it's depending which track you pick, you will have an easier or much more difficult time with the obstacles. So we'll go on this for a little bit, and I'll show you how it gets faster and faster, and then I think we'll cut across and look at the split screen, because I've covered most of the rest of the game. The AG League is just basically races compiled together, and you beat them and progress through the game. And time trial, you're just setting good times. So yeah, we're getting up to a bit faster speed now. Yeah, I think you guys get the point. It just gets faster and faster, and yeah, you just got to stay alive, score points. So yeah, let's move on, and we'll look at split screen. Okay, so I'm just going to show you multiplayer. Just go in here, You've got some good options. You've got the basic arcade, you can play the league, you can make a custom league picking all your tracks, and there's some good options. You can set the preferences here, so laps and all that stuff. Change the split screen vertical or horizontal. I'll show you both. Set your controls and turn various weapons on or off, because there's a lot of weapons in this game. So yeah, let's just go into a basic arcade and we'll just go on the first track just to show this off. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at the horizontal split. It probably doesn't work as well as vertical for WipEout, but we'll have a look at it. Okay, that's been a quick look at the split screen. You can see quite clearly that vertical works better for WipEout than horizontal, but it is nice the options there if people do prefer playing it that way. And yeah, that's been a look at the game in general. Stay tuned for more videos.